Salutations and welcome to the Logic Lounge with Fleazy Jones. That's me. Episode 71. 71 episodes. Brought to you by my brother Block Legend 7, who I know will be around momentarily. The tunes that you hear in the back right now are from the young lady who, it was last year, she was my 25th episode. That was May 10th of 2023. And now she has gotten the time to come back, graced us with her presence again on my 71st episode, on my mother's 71st birthday. I just had to start it like that, yo. And that shouts out to the Herbalist. Angela, the Herbalist, killing Las Vegas right now. Listen, I don't even want to waste no time. I'm finna bring this young lady up because it's been a minute and I need to holler.
What's good?
Yo, trying to do what you gotta do. I'm telling you, man, I'm actually excited that I was able to, you know what I mean, link back up with you to actually get a part two going. So, man, I wouldn't care if it was in a dip like this. I'd have been like, hey, we gonna work with it, man. How are you? Part two. Angela the Herbalist came back to the lounge, y'all.
On the Logic Lounge, what's
Yo,
good with Fleazy
yo.
Jones? Shout out to the Legend Block 7. Shout out to everybody. It's so good to be back, man. I am doing wonderful, and how are you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good, man. Both of us, we moving.
That's
We
right.
moving, man.
Yeah,
And I'm like excited to be able to get to sit down with you because the whole time from the 25th episode up until now, man, I've been seeing rapid fire. You know what I mean? From even allowing people to, get to know you a little more personally now, which I think is dope because I know you got a lot to say, man. Like you're an interesting person. It just is what it is. That's just the fact of the matter.
Thank
So,
you so much.
do you know what's dope about this too? When we had the first interview, 2 days later, you had just dropped your collabo with Dizzy Wright.
Okay.
Now we are in the end of March, and you just dropped your other collabo with
With
JLB
JLB
Hood.
Hood, yep.
Come on, man, this is crazy. Like this is. Now I ain't gonna lie. Do you know Fleazy does his homework, man. I search up and down for Let You Down because I'm like, oh, she bogus, man. So I got to kick it off with that. What's the story with Let You Down, man? When can we expect that? Because I need to hear that, man. That's what you would have heard in the back had I was able to snag it. But I'm like, man, I'm gonna just ask her about it.
You like that one? Okay, dope. That means so much to me. Thank you so much, Fleazy. I'm still working on that one. I've finished writing the song. I need to finish recording the song. I need to go record the second verse, and then I'm gonna drop a release date. But it's not quite finished recording yet, but it is all written, and I'm definitely looking forward to releasing that one too. And I've been doing some other teasers and stuff. But real quick, your growth this year has been insane. I don't remember what your following was at this time last year, but I know it sure wasn't no 11,000. So congratulations to you, Fleazy Jones, and the Logic Lounge for your growth this year as
Man,
well.
I appreciate that, man. And like that's what it's about, man. When we first did the interview, I said what I said to you, meaning like, yo, I'm gonna be there as much as I can. And it's just kind of cool to be able to have this sit down because we both can relate as far as the aspect of man getting this from the mud. Ain't no handouts here. You know what I mean? There are no handouts here. So I bring up the collabo with Dizzy Wright because I'm like, man, that's crazy. I talked to her and she had just dropped the collabo 2 days after the interview. And here it is, okay, give or take a month. You just did the Poison Ivy with the feature from JLB Hood. So you know I gotta ask the story behind that. How did you connect with Mr. Hood and how did we get Poison Ivy?
Oh man, it's been a long time coming. I met Jo back in 2016. VIP meet and greet. It was my first time going to see Tech Nine. Like I'd seen Tech Nine, but I'd never met Tech Nine, so I got a VIP pack to go meet my hero, basically for the first time. And JL was on that tour with him, and so that's when we met for the first time. Fast forward to, I want to say, 2018, 2019, and I opened a show for JL in my hometown. So that was the second time that we had connected and touched base. So we've been lightly connected ever since. But when I moved to Las Vegas, his mom lives here. So I had connected with her because I don't have a lot of connections out here. So he came to visit, basically, like, it just all fell together. So he got tattooed by my girlfriend. We did a song together. It's like just pretty much family working and connecting. And so yeah, that's basically what it is. It's been a long time coming, and it was a really cool song to do because JL is kind of a cannabis rapper, just like Dizzy, just like myself. And so, you know, you could find us smoking on Ivy. That's what it is.
So you know I gotta ask because I'm 420 all day, man. Like, have you considered making that like a strand for real? Because you know that's possible.
Oh, making a poison ivy strain? That's a good idea. No, I never thought of that,
Yeah.
Fleazy. You're the one with the good ideas. You're the
Listen,
idea person.
when I heard it, right, like you know, being an artist myself, although I've changed planes, I still have that ear. So instantly, I'm thinking of everything, and man, listen, I'm trying to smoke on ice. It's a
Because
theme, so
it's
I instantly was like, yo, I know like ATH smokes. I'm wondering if I got my Jafar beard going here, like, you know, like hold on, this she, but no, that's dope. So that's even better because I didn't know that there was an actual connection there. So that's always good. So that's like okay, that was meant to happen. So you've been in Vegas now. When I talked to you, how long had you been in Vegas? The move?
uh, I was really new then. I moved here September 1st, 2022.
Okay,
Sep-
okay,
yeah, so September 2023 made it a year, and I'm working on my second year. It'll be 2 years in September.
okay, okay.
So I was pretty new here. I've been here now for what, 1 year and 6 months or something. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're getting traction, man. You're getting traction now. So one of my questions to you is, what is it like for you getting the new attention now? Because there is a lot of more attention on you than it was before. Like, how's that transition been for you?
Well, really, the transition hasn't been like adjusting to the growth. It's been adjusting like for the growth. So between the last time that you see me and now, I completely adjusted my entire way that I present myself on social media. I adjusted how often I post. I adjusted myself to be like posting consistently, like reels and stuff, in a more personal touch, allowing people to get to know me a little bit better,
Yeah.
and incorporating all those aspects is what's caused the growth. So instead of focusing on like a reaction to the growth, really, I just been focusing more on like putting everything I have into social media every day, like trying to create better videos, trying to create more content. When I released that Dizzy Right song, I didn't even know how to promote a song. If you notice, I didn't do a single like video like I'm doing for Let You Down. I had no concept of that really. So I've just been investing in learning, investing in what I can do, how I can promote myself, how I can create great music, and then find new ways to make people listen to it. So that's what you're seeing now with Poison Ivy. I started doing it a little bit, and then with Let You Down, I've been doing it a lot, and then with the other new songs I'm teasing now, I've been doing it a lot because creating the hype behind the song before the release is really important, and I
Yeah.
just didn't really understand that until
No,
now.
like
So sorry.
you can see the growth, you can hear the growth. And that brings me to my next question, actually, because I never got to really ask you this. When it comes to you, how would you describe your style of music?
I always say that I am a hip hop artist, but it's kind of the lines are becoming blurred now. Because this "Let You Down" song isn't really hip hop, and I have some others that don't really fit in that genre either. I don't really know. I guess I don't know. I still call myself a rapper and I still call myself a hip hop artist, but I'm definitely branching out. I mean, "Let You Down" is more like 80s vibe. It's more like Weekend esque. I don't even know how to describe it. More pop, a little
Hmm.
bit, yeah, kind of pop hip hop y.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'll
it
just
still could
say
be alternative. That which is good because that means you won't sit yourself in the box, and that there's nothing wrong.
And I'm just an artist learning and growing and becoming more myself every day. I feel like this year I really unlocked the key to creating great music, which is for anybody watching who loves to create music, it's to allow yourself to create. Sometimes as creatives, we put so much pressure on ourselves when we sit down and we say, okay, I'm going to write now. What I write had better rhyme, and what rhymes better rhyme with every syllable, and it better be the best thing, in the concepts behind it better be perfect. And when you put all that pressure on yourself, you take away the creativity that's already there naturally, just waiting to blossom out. So when you take that away and you just sit down and you just listen to your beat and you just say, you know what, I'm gonna just vibe to the beat and see what happens, then that's when you're able to really authentically create. And my old self, if I would write something simple like "Let You Down," which is really simple, I would have thrown that out. I would have never let that shit slide. The
Yeah,
rhyme scheme isn't complicated enough. Fuck the message that's deep as hell. I don't care about that. It has to be perfect. But
yeah.
not anymore. Not anymore. I've allowed myself to just be creative, and it has taken my music to the next level where not every song has to be perfect, and in turn every song has become more perfect because of that.
Go. Yeah. So is that the approach that you take to it? Period. Now.
For writing, yes, I've completely removed the pressure from the writing and put the pressure all on the social media. So what does have to be perfect is my reputation of posting every day. I can't miss, even if I've been in a car accident, even if I wake up sick, even if my mother-in-law is here. And these are all things that have really happened recently, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have to post every day. So I put that pressure on myself to maintain consistency in that way. But as far as the writing, I've allowed myself to just be a creative, just be an artist, and just do what I naturally do, which is write music.
This one. What has connection been like for you, or networking, should I say? How has networking been for you since the move?
It has been nothing but positive, honestly. Las Vegas is a great place to connect with people from all over the world, and it has been the best move of my life, specifically for my music and my passion and my career. There's so many people out here. You have access to people from all over the world. So when I was driving my Uber, I have people in my car from Puerto Rico or from Asia or from where, literally all over the world, Australia, like you name it. The people here in Vegas have been there, and it's like connecting with those kind of people puts your music in a different place.
Yeah.
They take it home with them.
Yeah.
They follow your Instagram, they hear your music, they're really into it, they want to support you, and they take it home with them. But on top of that, connecting with other artists here has been huge for me too. Networking with other people who do music and who are more experienced with social media than me. That's how I learned everything that's been kind of elevating me this year, is from other people who I've connected with out here, who are like, you see your social media page, now go look at your favorite artist and compare the difference.
Yeah.
You need to change something.
Yeah.
And they were right. And when I did change something, it's true. The followers and the supporters came pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
So
Confidence is key, man. And once you have that, really, there's nothing no one can really do with you. So that's good. And again, like I say, it might be a bias thing for me, is because one thing I know is that I caught you when you were damn near at the beginning of at least pushing it to IG from what I can see.
yes.
And it's a total difference now. So life has happened. Last time I talked to you, you were doing piercings, correct?
Yes.
Now, if I understand correctly, you are Ubering on top of the growth on your career? Have you went full-time Uber?
So I did go full time Uber, and I will share with you a little bit of rawness from my life now. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was involved in an accident during Uber. So I had my life flipped upside down a little bit on me because I was a little bit hurt from the accident. And it was like, it just shook me up. Like I had been cruising and in the fast lane pretty much through my whole Uber career. And then boom, this smack happened. And it really kind of flipped me on my head. So I've stepped away from Uber.
Oh,
They are like begging
okay.
me to come back. They didn't fire me because of the accident, but I've stepped away for the moment being, and I've just gone back to piercing, but only because it shook me up so bad. Once I get my feeding calmed back down, I'm definitely going to be heading back to Uber and doing some more of my dream chasing stuff with sharing my music with people from all over the world because I love it so much.
Yeah,
But this little hiccup in the road has totally just made me take a step back. Let me sit down for a minute, reevaluate, reset, and then I will go back to it. But I wanted to share that with you because I haven't shared that with my platform at all. Every day I come onto Instagram with positivity, and I'm not always super transparent about what I'm going through. But we all go through shit, right? We're all going through something. So if your favorite Instagram person doesn't post for a day, cut them some slack. And if you are a person who's going through some stuff and still trying to push through, you can get through it for sure.
now that,
And you could do it with a smile too.
yeah, that's yeah. Wow, did not expect that. Well, for one, I'm glad you're okay. So let's get that out in the open. I definitely understand that. Wow, usually I'm the one stumping people. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, whoa, wasn't really prepared for that because, well, at least we get to segue into the positive. Because what I was gonna say is, you've shared with us. Now I saw this on TikTok. I understand that you have become engaged.
Yes. I had planned it all out to take my girlfriend to a concert to see her favorite band, which is Queens of the Stone Age, and pop the question to her, and she did say yes. So that was a super fun experience, and she's just literally the best partner ever. She's super cool. I just adore her in every way. She pushes me to be a better version of myself, and there's no reason that I'll ever want to be away from her. So I knew that she was the one.
That is dope. That is dope. So congratulations first and foremost. Wish y'all all the happiness in the world because that's dope as hell. Has that affected your career in any way? Because that is definitely a different, you know what I mean? When you take that step, that is the commitment. Has that affected you in any way as Angela the Herbalist, the artist?
I would have to say not really. It's pretty much the same. I picked a person who's really supportive of my career, and when you're a musician, a lot of people feel some sort of desire towards you because music is an aphrodisiac, right? When you are a woman who is with a woman, and people are like, "What's up? Are you single?" And you're like, "No, I have a girlfriend or a fiance or a wife." They don't feel so like rejected. They're like,
Ah,
"Oh,
as
okay,
if they
that's
could get
great.
into that with
Now I
you.
can
I
now I can
understand.
think about both of y'all."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they don't feel so like, "Oh, she's got a husband. She ain't, it ain't never gonna." They don't feel that way no more. It's like, "Oh, okay, I could rock with that."
right.
So to me, it hasn't been really any sort of negative way at all. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who think it's weird because it's non-traditional, but it's been really cool, honestly. As far as my music, she's on my side. You know that the artwork that goes with my music, like the artwork for Poison Ivy, the artwork for the Dizzy Wright drop, those are all like created by her.
That's
So
dope.
so it's amazing. I love her so much.
That is dope, man. That is dope. Because you gave her a shout out in Poison Ivy in the second verse where, um,
You heard
oh
that.
yeah, you come on, man. Please is getting on this journalist stuff. I don't bring people for no reason. I make sure I have something to talk about. You know what I mean? I found it interesting right before you mentioned her that you spoke about times where you dealt with toxic relationships, where you dealt with things like motivation, and you also mentioned, hey, I broke through that. So I wanted to ask into the detail, like, how did you overcome those obstacles?
Dang, Fleazy, you're second to none with how thorough you are and the way you run your show and the way you research your guests. No, I just got to take a second to say that seriously. Second to none. I always admire that about you. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate
It
that.
shows so much respect for the artists that you care about who we are coming onto your show and what we do, and even down to every word that we say. So thank you. But I have overcome many toxic relationships in my life, a lot with my family, and that's what that line is really about. Toxic relationships at some point started feeling like home, and
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But overcoming that is the next level. It takes a certain level of strength to break away from all that, especially when it's all you've ever known or when you've been there for a really long time. But at some point you got to just put yourself first and break away from all the toxicity and the people who are holding you back, the people who you've seen doing the same things for years and years. They never go anywhere, they never change anything. They say they're going to, but they don't. And moving away was a big part of that for me. So moving away from Reno, which is a small town here in Nevada, where a lot of people suffer with addiction, a lot of people have children really young, and a lot of people are stuck in poverty because of those things. I felt like I was generationally inclined to these toxic behaviors and these toxic relationships. But man, it wasn't the case.
Before I ask this other question, let's go back to how you were saying your creative juices are now, where you just kind of free flow. So can you take me through, maybe just give me a scenario of what it's like, of how you go into creating a song nowadays with your growth?
Yep. Been connecting with this producer out here in Las Vegas. I've been working with him a lot. We actually knew each other back in Reno too. His name is Bet Sean Made That on Instagram, also known as Sean Dossie. Out to him, shout out to Bet Sean Made That. And he's been producing a lot of dope songs for me, and just taking some of my ideas and making beats with them and stuff. So he sent this 80s weekend type beat for Let You Down. Before Let You Down was even a song, he just sent me the beat. I take it into my girlfriend's bathroom while she's doing her makeup, and I said, babe, listen to this beat. And she goes, okay, yes, definitely like 80s type beat, And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if I could write to it. And then I just sat there and I was just like, let me see if I could try and find a melody to it real quick. And then right away, like the melody and the words came at the same time, because I had a friend of mine who struggles with addiction on my mind, because I just had freshly seen that
Yeah.
friend. It came right to me, like to the beat. I could all of a sudden just hear like, I can't let you down. I could just hear that, like, then I could just feel it, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I can write to this beat. And so then I sat down. Sometimes you don't even be trying to write, you just be trying to see if you could, and then it
Mm.
just comes to you. I mean, I wrote that chorus literally within 5 minutes. It just came to me. So that's one example. But in a typical example, that was kind of a special one. But producer would have sent me a beat. I'd be like maybe in my room or in my vibe, maybe smoking, and just sit down and just put the beat on and just see how it feels. Does this beat feel sensual, like my other new one, Take Our Time? Or does this beat feel, with the 80s beat, it felt uplifting, yet I wanted to put dark words to it, because that's what The Weeknd does,
Yeah. Yeah.
Save your tears for another day. Like that shit's dark,
Yeah.
but yet he says it so I was doing the same thing, literally just pulling inspiration from successful artists who's on a similar type beat, and I said, I'm gonna say this in an uplifting way, but it's gonna be deep and
Yeah.
dark underneath. And so, there's all kinds of ways that the music comes together, and that's the beauty of it, is it's no one way that it comes to you, but it's a blessing for sure.
You just blew my mind with that, because now in the promo, of course, I listened to what you allowed me to listen to. So that just made that line just one more time to heal my brain, because you made the sign,
Yeah.
but I can't let you down. I'm sick of you. your shit, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it, damn it. I am sick of it. I am sick of it. How do you deal with multitasking now that you are now that we know the terrible incident with Uber, you are back to doing regular work? Why building your career journey, and you're engaged, you're
Yeah.
going to be a wife soon? How do you juggle those? How do you deal with that multitasking?
Man, it can be a disaster, especially when I had Uber in there too. It was like almost too much, and that's why everything came to a crash and halt. So I say the first part about juggling is make sure you don't have too many balls. Because I dropped one trying to do too much at once, and that's just a life lesson. We all
Yeah,
go through stuff like that. So the other part about it is just taking it one thing at a time. You get up in the morning, you brush your hair, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, and then you see what else the day has in store for you. So sometimes it's you got to get this money, you got to go do some piercings. Sometimes it's you need to take some time to care for yourself. It is a lot. It's a lot on all of us every day. A lot of people are balancing kids and careers and whatever it is, chasing your dreams all at the same time. But just take it all one day at a time, one step at a time, and never give up. Never give up on anything. I'll never give up on my relationship. I'll never give up on my music. I'll never give up on myself.
yeah.
So that's all I can do is just keep pushing as hard as I can every day, do what I can, and then don't beat yourself up if you don't get it all done, or if you do drop a ball, have a big accident or whatever. It's all good. Just shake it off and keep going. I'm lucky to have the
Uh,
support system around me too, because my girlfriend, I swear to God, has been my lifesaver. My fiance has been my lifesaver for sure.
because I wanted to go back to you speaking to, she calls her, that's her Harley Quinn, because this is Poison Ivy. I'm Joker Jones. Oh, did I show you? Didn't get to see the
Ah,
Joker. Oh yeah,
no.
you didn't get to see
Now
Joker.
we got
So like
now you got Poison Ivy and you got the Joker too. Okay.
you already know. You mentioned how nowadays, let's just be honest, people over sexualize every fucking thing, right? I don't care what's going on. So when you say that, here you are with your fiance, it happens to be uh, a good looking female like yourself, no disrespect, of course. And now, I know how it is. I can't lie. At one point, I think knock headed as well. So I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but has that ruined anything as far as relationships, as far as your music or connections to the herbalist? Like, has people felt like, or you run into where, oh, if I can't do that, then it's, you know what I mean? Like now it's an issue. Has that been an issue
Oh
for
my
you?
gosh, I'm so glad you asked this question because you would think it might be, right? But for me, it's actually been my saving grace because when you're a single person and you walk into the room with Tech Nine's tour manager and you think you're there to network, and then he wants to move the conversation to something else,
Yeah,
you know that you can just say, hey, respectfully, I'm a taken woman, like I'm engaged, and that's not the way things are gonna go. It saves me from that in a sense, because if I was like, I'm single, then it's like, well, why won't you do this? Why won't you do this?
yeah,
But the other thing is, even when I was single, I always said that if my talent can't take me there, I don't want to go. And so for me, there's no opportunities lost, because if my talent can't take me there, I don't want to go. If anybody says that they're interested in my talent and then was actually interested in something else, it's not a lost opportunity to me. It was just a misunderstanding between us where they thought they were getting one thing and I thought I was getting one thing. And honestly, both of us are getting nothing. And that's all right, because if my
yeah.
talent can't take me there, I don't want to go. And at the end of the day, no disrespect to anybody who plays it any other way, to anybody who like was a Cardi B or anything like that, man. That woman worked hard to get where she was, and she did what she had to do to make her dreams come true, and I respect every minute of it. But for me, that's not how I'm going to get to the top. If I can't get there in a respectable way where I can love myself at the end of the day, then I'm going to just stay independent right here at the bottom, baby, doing what I love anyways. Feeling like
Listen, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. That's been a fact people have known forever,
mm-hmm.
forever. where people don't respect people they can just run over. People don't respect, honestly, a person who's an individual. Like when you don't follow something, it's one thing to, you know what I mean, get in tune with something, get introduced to something. But when you become a follower, man, that allows you to be stepped on and you're not a follower. So you're willing to stand for yours. So, man, I salute that. I salute that. Now
Right.
that we have the new, I would say the new and improved Angela the Herbalist, I asked you this in the first interview, so I want to know now, since it's been on approaching about a year, what is the difference between Angela the person now and Angela the herbalist now?
Oh, wow. So I think I mentioned to you a little bit about like my cocky persona that I try to like embody, and
Yeah,
that doesn't really match up with who I really am. I'm really more of a humble person. Now Angela the herbalist and Angela the person are almost becoming more one because my music is more authentically portraying who I really am these days. Just by coincidence. I still have a different persona, especially when it comes to like being super positive or being super confident, cocky. Those are elements that you have to be successful in a performance type setting.
yeah,
So I've tapped into those elements and made those elements part of my character, but they're not naturally occurring in regular old me.
mm, mm,
So Angela the person has also started to grapple towards some of those aspects, like I do feel more confident, I do feel more cocky, I do feel, more positive and uplifting. Just being that way as an artist has made me more of that way as a person as well. Same as like who I am as a person is trickling more into my art as well too. I'm just evolving every day. I'm just trying to be my best and just grow and be the best person and the best artist I can be, honestly.
yeah. So I asked this lightly because I already know the answer by how you're talking about it, but I always ask, so forgive the cliche, but any regrets since making the move?
Oh, man, I would almost say I regret making the mistake that I made with the accident, but honestly, everything happens for a reason. And I feel like I'm right where I should be. And even in these moments where it feels like sometimes my life is crumbling around me, that's really how it felt these past couple weeks. It doesn't matter. Everything's all gonna fall together at some point, and I'm just gonna keep pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, sometimes you have to go on autopilot in order to get through something because I find myself doing that a lot. So I respect it. And again, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I respect ATH so much because it's from the ground up. I know everything isn't for everybody, but it's just beauty and ground up. That's just how I feel. Like you started with nothing. From you sharing the story to Blaze with me, this was done as a friend at the time. You like, hey, want to write a song? Sure. And now look, because in my opinion, you kind of did your thing in 2023 and you leaking it right over to 2024. So, segue, please, he has the method to his madness. Are we getting another Angela the Herbalist project?
you mean like an
Oh,
album?
yeah. Yes, I mean, like,
Yeah, all these songs that I've been teasing are a part of a project that I've been working on. I don't have a
oh,
name for the project yet. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be like an EP or a full album. I haven't really decided, but I am like just stockpiling music and just trying to create the most that I can every day. I want to put out another positivity type project, just like Rise and Grind was kind of a positivity type project. And I still haven't released the full album. JL brought that to my attention. He's like, where's your album? So I'm probably gonna upload the whole thing online at some point. I just haven't done it yet. And yes, absolutely, we're coming into a new project I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I know it's going to be positive and uplifting and relatable and definitely from the heart and soul. And you've already heard some sneak peeks. You can guarantee that Let You Down is going to be on there. You can guarantee that Underdog is going to be on there. I don't know if you saw that little sneak
No,
peek for Underdog.
not yet, but I will.
Then
I
I'll,
will.
maybe I'll spit a little bit of it for you too. And
Maybe
then
now you have to.
and then there's the third one, which is Take Our Time. All three of those are brand new songs. Oh, and Poison Ivy will be on there too.
Oh,
Those are the four songs that I've been either released or teasing for the new project.
oh well, if Fleazy has any say in anything, why wouldn't it? Your Poison Ivy, Angela. Think about it. Angela the Herbalist was Rise and Grind. It's the evolution of Angela the
That's
Herbalist. And because of life things, it's the reverse villain. You say it. I'm not a villain, but it's the equivalent. It was like paying homage to Pac. I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
mm-hmm.
Not a villain. Don't spite me.
Yep, it's literally the same thing.
So that would be or just throwing that out there. Poison Ivy. Just
Oh
saying.
shit, I already got
Just
the album cover. Why not?
that because it's dope and that's kind of your thing, like that's what I see. Cool, because that either way is good, right? But when you're talking on the side of consumer, we want projects. I don't know why that is, but we want them. So but even if you just kept dumping like you've been doing, that's just as good because I you don't keep us waiting. That much I can say. We haven't been waiting. I have been constantly seeing you. And even if there is time in between when you've dropped, I can't tell. You get what I mean when I say that, like, because I'm still vibing from the most. And now we got poison. Now, like, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still vibing from that. So that's kind of dope, man. Now that you are who you are, right? And you say you pretty much you are learning how to separate the two, artist, person, and you are bringing them together. Do you still struggle with motivation? And if so, how do you break through it now?
Yes, I do still struggle with motivation. I still struggle with depression, and those things go hand in hand.
Mhm.
When I find myself in those times, I I do some of the things I've already mentioned previously. One is removing the pressure. So if I'm feeling down, I'm feeling lack of motivation, you may think that the thing to do is to push myself to write a song. That's not it. That's not it. The thing to do is to take the pressure off, that I don't have to create anything to be valuable. I'm valuable because I'm me, because I'm just a person. That alone gives me value. And I don't have to create to be valuable. So I take the pressure off first and foremost. And then second most, I go back to the basics, self-care. What can I do to nourish my body so that way my soul can feel better? I take care of myself or take an extra step just to show myself some love. And in that way, now that's how I can pull myself out. Because once you've showed yourself a little bit of love, you're willing to do a little something
Yeah.
more. Like, you don't have to push yourself to be creative, to get motivated. You just have to take care of yourself and let yourself just do what you do naturally when you're in a good place, which is create.
Yeah.
For me, that's what I do naturally.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you your roses now. One thing that you will never be able to put a dollar amount on is authenticity. And the fact that you have decided to share who you really are in your art is powerful because there needs to be natural people. We are living in the twilight zone. People are absolutely crazy. You can't there's really no reason to reason anymore, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when I run into a person that's naturally and that can say, hey, I deal with depression. I shock people all the time when I tell them in 2018 I was diagnosed with manic depression and I don't take a pill. That shit is real. So when I put it and I see people like that, I gravitate to them. So, kudos to you to be able to do that because that takes strength. And if you don't know that, now you do.
Well,
Yeah.
Be
kudos to you, Fleazy, because I see you out here doing everything you can to build from the ground up your own self and build
yeah.
yourself, build the Logic Lounge, and show big respect to your big homie Block Seven, the legend, and Naomi with two M's, and everybody on the way. Everybody on the way. Fleazy isn't just out for Fleazy. Fleazy is out to spread positivity with the world, and anybody with eyes could see that, man. So big love to you for being a person who struggles and yet still pushing positivity, man. I love that.
Yeah, because it's all we got, man. We don't have you not everybody can do the therapy thing, whether it's money, insurance, or just I don't want to talk to a person I don't know. But you'd be surprised at how if you just see someone that you can relate to, that's a total difference. That's a
Exactly.
total difference. And that's what I like in your music. Well, man, now that we are here, we know we got some leaks coming out. Have you made any change to what your end goal is now?
And the end goal. I would say my end goal remains the same. I would love to become a serious musician, a serious artist. I would be love to be able to do what I love and only what I love. But my my the way that I view the goal has changed. The goal is like the end of life. What is the end of life? Death, right?
Hmm.
It's everything in between that makes it beautiful. It's from birth to the goal, it's everything in between that makes it beautiful. It's not the goal itself. So for me, I'm taking every day as like the most beautiful part of my journey because when I do reach that end goal, I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this right here. I'm gonna miss walking into Walmart. I'm gonna miss the simple shit. When there was no pressure on me to do what I love to do. I'm gonna miss all that shit. So I'm not rushing to the end anymore. I'm enjoying every day, feeling like being on this journey, I'm already at the goal. That's how I feel because when you're rushing to the end, what are you rushing towards? You're rushing towards death, the death of your dream, right? Because once you get everything that you wanted, you realize it wasn't everything that you wanted. It's just the way it is. And Miley Cyrus, she did that cover of The Climb. That shit sticks with me. She sung it beautifully. It ain't about how fast I get there, and it ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. And that's how I feel. I feel engulfed in every moment of this, thankful for every second of this, and not focus so much on, I wish I could be that artist that was just traveling and touring. Yeah, I do wish that. But man, I'm so grateful for this right now.
Because anybody can relate to that. Nothing worth having is easy. We know that the cliche thing, but the way you just broke that down, you just kind of, I just got a piece of humble pie just now, y'all. It's pretty good. A
Thank
little better, but pretty good nonetheless. Just saying, wow. We are just going with the flow, and that is dope. That is the spoken like a true herbalist.
thank you.
Glad that before we wrap this up, you done messed up. You said it, I did. I need that leak, man. You done already said you gonna spend some. You think, hey, Fleazy is going on mute now. You tell him what you about to do, and you tell me when to unmute. I'll be back, y'all.
All right, y'all. I did release a little sneak peek of this one on my page. It is called Underdog, and I'm gonna try to spit it for y'all a little acapella right now. If you want to hear it with the beat, go find it on my page. An underdog since I stepped in the game, invested in fame. Flexing still, I'm left with the shame, infecting my brain. At this point, I accept I'm insane. I've respected every step, still trying to net with my name. It's all good. I've done more than they thought that I would. Dropping music with Dizzy Wright and JLB Hood, for better or for worse, forever misunderstood. I'll endeavor with pleasure. One thing I do if I could, I go back. And then I try to find little me. Cause every grown up in my life said how much nothing I be when I was busted and in trouble, struggles fucking with me. So I'd love to see who she would really really grow up to be. But one day when you see me at the top of the charts, it was never accidental like a cough and a fart. And you know, if you've been watching me, I fought with my heart, consistently persistent. Never did I stop and then start again. I took a chance and threw a dart. I've been slaying the game, playing my part, just making art. And then startling how I can start falling apart. Then when, darling, I'm sorry. I guess that I'm just hard to offend because I'm the underdog. And all my life I've been the underdog. And what's it like to be the underdog? You wonder, huh? Anyway, I stumbled a little, y'all, but go check it out on my page. Fleazy, pop back in and tell me what you think.
Yo, so it's amazing that your favorite artist is Tech Nine because I would swear it was somebody from the beginning of the hip hop era. I got to hear that live from your breath control and everything. I'm listening to it. That is, you know what I mean when I say that? That's literally hip hop.
Thank
That's
you
hip
so much.
hop. I'm just amazed to hear where it's coming from. I mean, no disrespect by that, but it's amazing from where it's coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not used to that. Don't hit me, y'all. All right, Bleezy is still from the hood, from Chicago, you know. But I'm just saying, Vanilla just killed that. Like that, the whole time it was from the speed of it to the. You get what I'm saying? Like that. Okay. Okay.
Thank you
I
much. Hey, and don't forget, y'all, don't give up on the underdog because you never know about us underdogs.
I heard the lady. I heard the lady. I done got a part two with her. So you know, as always, like I say, this will not be the only, no, this won't. I want to see what happens. And then of course, we definitely gonna link. Oh, I've been cooking. Don't you worry. We've been keeping a line on it. It's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, we're
It's
going to
gonna happen.
collab.
It's gonna
Yep.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have to fence with you. I call it the fencing. Like we must spar. Man, So I can't thank you enough for bringing me not one but two dope ass sit downs with Angela the Herbalist. Cause like you say, you are growing, and before they know it, if they are sleeping, you're gonna get waking up pretty quickly because she's figuring it out. Like if I can honestly speak from the heart, in the midst of you not knowing, you keep going and you still admit to not fully knowing, and now you've embraced the not knowing.
Yeah.
Let me do the slow. I don't have to edit, but I'm gonna just slow. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can't wait to hear more. Do we have any shows coming up? Any plans of that?
I don't have any live performances lined up at this time, but I am looking for something to do on 420. I always perform pretty much every 420, so I'm sure I'll be out in April for sure. But before we get off of here, of course, I got to give one more big shout out to my homie, Fleazy. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. I'm going to say it one more time. You are second to none in your craft. You're very thorough. I appreciate being included, and I appreciate the love and respect that you show me. I know that I'm not your typical rapper. I know that I'm a vanilla girl sitting here talking about the underdog,
And
and I
mean it though.
I appreciate the respect to even give me the time of day stepping into a culture that isn't, inherently mine, but that I feel drawn to and that I feel a love for. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you for hearing my story. And to all my people who are out there watching, please go follow Fleazy Jones, support his page, and show him the same positivity that y'all show me, man. It's big love.
Man, listen. And it ain't, believe me, I don't make it. The only reason vanilla was said, just to clarify, was the art of the style.
Okay.
The respect was already there, but you don't know people that even know about that. Yo, ATH, you're still young, love. So, some of my older folks would be like, "What she know about that there?" You know what I mean? That type of talk, like that's what I meant. But yes, I know you have respect for the game, and I respect you for it. So, thank you for the roses. Thank you for coming through. Yo, if my peoples ain't following her now, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and fix that for me. And man, I listen. Shouts out to Stacy as well. Harley, congratulations. Ended how always ended ATH. I tell them living off good thing. Wait a minute. I can't do it without saying thank you all for coming through. She had me so thrown by how her responses was. Threw me off. Man, thank you for tuning in to the Logic Lounge with Fleazy Jones. That's me, episode 71, ATH. Brought to you by the homie and brother in general, Glock Legend 7, man. It's always a pleasure to have you here, ATH, and I thank you again. And I'm going to end it how I always end it. I tell them living off good instinct counts. So always keep your logic. We love y'all. We hope y'all safe. Till the next time. We
Bye
out.
now. Much love.
Much love.